Tonight, let me be more than the words I recite. Tonight, I'll admit I never really belonged to sunlight because, like my grandfather taught me, in the city where all this happens, some things can only grow by the light of the full moon. So let the spirit bloom. Let this be more than metaphor. Let this be sacred. Move this from elegy to exaltation, from song to chant, from chant to cry. I want to scream you back to life. Tonight, I am you, Santos. A small brown child with a beautifully wild smile. When they asked me to write this, I heard your voice reverberating in my head, asking me, begging me to be your speaker for the dead. So this is not a poem. This is an act of desperation. This is hands cupped, breath soft in the glowing embers of your ashes, hoping, praying that your spirit will rise, while the simple question of why blends into, how do I find the poetry in gunshots and lost lives? So let night be day. Let tears be flood. Let the stage be your life. Let my ink be your blood.
While millions will be looking to the skies for the solar eclipse, transportation agencies will be looking to the roads. Now, if you don't know what the solar eclipse is, it's when the moon will completely block the sun for several minutes, leading to temporary darkness. And several Texas cities have a front row seat to the action. County and state leaders believe more than 1 million visitors will either flock to our state or travel to witness the path of totality. That, of course, means more people on the roads, and those numbers have even forced officials in Bell County, that's just north of Austin, to declare a state of emergency. That county, home to about 400,000, could reach almost 1 million on April 8th. When you get in the car, the first thing you should do is buckle up, and that means put your seatbelt on. Unfortunately, so many don't, so lean in close. Here's your reminder, bad things can happen to all of us. You may have heard me report on this crash that shut down the interstate for multiple hours recently. This one happened just after 3 o'clock this morning. Again, westbound I-20 right at Great Southwest Parkway is where we're noticing they're starting to shut down. We found out later that morning the driver who died in that crash was not wearing a seatbelt. Now, we all make mistakes, but what we don't want, and yes, this is a tough lesson, is for our mistakes to turn deadly. Let's talk numbers. Wearing a seatbelt can reduce the risk of dying in a crash by up to 60%. That's according to the Texas Department of Transportation. But they also say, despite how easy it is to buckle up, millions of people in Texas still skip this simple step, risking their lives.
The Mavs and Stars in the conference finals, but how do you swap out an ice rink for a basketball court? We're inside the AAC to find out.
Well, let's talk about the biggest race in the state right now.
Well, Jason, Super Tuesday, super long line.
It is one of several big matchups we are following tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Cynthia Aguirre.
Yeah, and I'm Chris Lawrence.
7 o'clock, Jobin Puneker was showing us the lines there, and he said there were probably an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes worth of lines. It is 8 o'clock in Texas. Polls now closed in El Paso, and the ballot count is on. To take a look and see how things are really kind of settling. This is House District 108.
If you want a better idea of how small the submersible is, look at this. I'm 6 feet tall, and the Titan is roughly 9 feet high, 8 feet wide, and about 22 feet long. Think about 5 people inside that, along with all the equipment.